Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the best place for online business owners. Now in today's video, I'm going to talk about how do you get more traffic to your website, your landing pages, your services, your offers, basically anywhere that you are selling your product or services right now. Knowing how to get traffic is so important because without traffic, you have no one to sell to. So in this video, we're going to talk about the different types of traffic that you're going to get and how to get them. Now before we go on, if you have not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you like today's video, don't forget to hit the like button as well. So I work with a lot of online business owners with their marketing, and one thing that I realize is that a lot of online business owners don't realize that there are actually different types of traffic. There's not just one type of traffic, okay? Not all traffic is created equal. So let's talk about the 3 different types of traffic that you'll be getting. So the first type of traffic is the cold traffic. Okay, the cold traffic, these are people who don't know who you are. They've never heard of you. They've never heard of your brand, your product before. They don't know that you exist. They don't have a relationship with your brand just yet. Okay, so this is the cold traffic. Now, the people who are your cold traffic, it's really hard to sell to them right from the get-go because they don't know who you are yet. They haven't established that trust that they'll have in your brand so that, they'll open up their wallets and actually pay you, right? They'll take out their credit cards and pay you. So with this group of traffic, how do we normally get cold traffic? We get cold traffic normally through, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, Pinterest, Instagram ads, Twitter ads, LinkedIn ads, right? These are cold traffic in general. That's how you usually get cold traffic. You can also get cold traffic through a video like this one on YouTube, right? For example, if you're new to my video, you're cold traffic because you don't know me yet. You have not watched any of my other videos. You have not consumed any of my other content. You don't know really who I am and what I do, right? So there isn't a trust and a relationship yet. You are my cold traffic. So when you're marketing to a cold traffic, it's going to take a little longer to convert them just because of the nature of it, right? They don't know and like and trust you yet. So it's going to take a little while to get them warmed up to who you are before they'll start buying stuff from you. So you're going to be super aware of that. The same thing when you're running Facebook ads to cold traffic, right? People who don't know who you are. If you're running Facebook ads to cold traffic, you gotta be aware that getting them to buy something directly from that first time they see your ad is going to be really difficult. You're gonna have a pretty low ROI because getting them to buy from the get-go when they first get to know you, it's gonna be difficult. Now, it's not always the case, right? If you sell low-ticket items, so something really cheap, like $10, for example, right? If you sell a low-ticket item for $10 to a cold traffic who have never heard of you, never seen your product before, there's a higher chance of them buying directly from the first touch point, even if they've never heard of you, just because the price point is low. But if you're selling something that's, $100, $1,000, $10,000, if you're gonna sell directly straight to them from the first ad or from the first message, that's hardly gonna happen. Now, the second type of traffic that you'll get is the warm traffic, okay? The warm traffic are basically people who have already heard of you or they've heard of your brand. They have, experienced your content. They've seen your content. They have watched your YouTube videos or they have seen your Instagram posts or your Facebook posts. They know about you, right? Maybe someone told them about your brand or told them about who you are. So with the warm audience, it is much easier to sell to them, right? With the warm audience, you don't need that much convincing. However, the best type of traffic that you want to get is the hot traffic, okay? The hot traffic. This is the type of traffic that all of us want to get, right? The hot traffic is basically someone who already knows your brand or knows you. They have been consuming your content for a long time. They trust in your brand. They are what you'll call fans, right? These are the people you'll call fans. These are the people that if you email out, they might reply your email. They have been on your email list for a while now. They might have even purchased from you in the past. So remember, there are 3 types of traffic that you can get for your online business. 3 types of traffic coming into the funnel, right? There are 3 types of traffic, not just one, and not all traffic are created equal like I explained earlier. Now, before I talk about how do we move the cold traffic to become warm traffic, to become hot traffic, so we get someone who is totally new to who you are, to buying from you, let's first talk about the 2 different types of marketing when it comes to getting traffic coming in, right? The first type of marketing is called interruption marketing, okay? Interruption marketing is basically marketing that interrupts. From the name itself, you kind of get that, right? Now, interruption marketing is basically someone is on Facebook right now, they're scrolling their news feed, they're just, looking at pictures of their friends and family, they're watching videos on Facebook, and then suddenly they see your ad, right? Suddenly they see your ad. That is interruption marketing. You're interrupting them while they're doing something else. They're watching YouTube video, for example. They're watching this video, right? And if you've got an ad over there, right? They're watching a YouTube video and then suddenly they get interrupted by an ad. That is interruption marketing. They're listening to a podcast episode and suddenly there's an ad, right? So interruption marketing is basically just interrupting whatever they're doing right now and trying to grab their attention. And this is important. You want to grab their attention, right? Attention is key when it comes to trying to get traffic. And interruption marketing is so important, right? You gotta get the attention because without the attention, you're not gonna get traffic coming in. So that might mean spending money on Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, Pinterest ads, LinkedIn ads, basically paid ads or even sponsorships or getting an influencer, right? Paying influencers for the influencer marketing. Now, all these are ways to interrupt someone and get their attention, but getting attention alone is not enough, right? Just because I got your attention, you clicked on, or you see my ad, you clicked on my ad, just because I've gotten your attention is not enough. It's not going to convince you to buy from me, right? What is lacking is the trust, right? To really buy something from a company, to buy a product or a service from a company or a person or from a brand, to give my credit card or cashing and say, take my money, I gotta trust in you. I gotta trust that either your product does what it says or that your company is trustworthy, right? So when you're interrupting me, you got my attention, I click on your ad, I see your ad, now you gotta make me trust you, right? You gotta build that trust. And here's the question, how do we actually get their attention using interruption marketing? Now, there are different tips and tricks for every marketing channel. For example, with Facebook ads, maybe it's using brighter colors. With Google ads, it's using certain keywords. However, in general, right, the first thing you want to start off with is to really understand who you're trying to target, to really understand your target audience, because you cannot get their attention if you don't even know who they are, right? So what I encourage you to do is, if you want to get the attention of your target customer, when you're trying to run ads, the first thing you want to do is to know who they are, know their gender, know their ages, know what they do for a living, know their pains, their struggles, their goals, their dreams, right? And from there, you're able to craft a messaging in your ads that would call out to them. And so, for example, I'll give an example over here, right? For example, I'm creating a product for online business owners who are struggling to get say consistent income coming in every single month. So in my ads or in my sponsorships, what I'll say is, are you an online business owner struggling to get consistent income every single month? Do you start each month worried about your revenue for that month? If so, check this out, right? Now, if you are an online business owner and you are struggling right now with getting consistent income coming in, and you are, worried about your revenue and your income every single month, then when you see that messaging come out, right, whether that's on your Facebook news feed, when you're scrolling your Facebook news feed, or you see that messaging when you are watching a YouTube video and a video pops up, you are more inclined to actually click on an ad, right? So that's how you get attention. The most fundamental way of getting attention online is to speak directly to your target audience, to really call them out so that the right person that you want to sell your products to will resonate with it, and then they will be attracted to it and they will go through that whole process of clicking on it, getting nurtured, and eventually buying from you. Now, the second type of marketing is called search marketing. Search marketing is basically people who are proactively searching for you or proactively searching for an answer to their problems. And just by the nature of that, these group of people are going to be the warmer audience, right? And so these are people who might be searching on Google search or, Instagram or YouTube or Pinterest, where basically anywhere there's a search bar, people are actively searching. These are people who are going to be much easier to convert than showing ads using interruption marketing, for example. So one thing that I encourage you to really get good at, and I'm not going to go into this in this video, but I encourage you to get really good at things like search engine optimization, SEO, to rank higher, hopefully rank in the first page of Google search, right? If someone's searching for a topic related to whatever you're selling, you want to be ranked number 1, 2, 3, or at least in the first page, right? So go get really good at SEO, get good at, Amazon search. If you're selling products on Amazon, you want to be one of those first few products found. Other search engines like, getting your YouTube videos found in the first few, or Pinterest, getting your pins found. So go out there, learn how to optimize your website, your pins, your images, your videos, so that you can get your product or service in front of your target audience whenever they're searching for your brand or searching for an answer related to, your service. So now that you know the 3 different types of traffic and the 2 different types of marketing and getting traffic, let's talk about how do you actually get them into the door? How do you actually get those traffic? First thing I want to focus on is really understanding your customer, right? Back to the basics of marketing. You really need to know who you're targeting, because if you don't know who you're targeting, you don't know where to even begin getting them in, right? You don't know how to approach them. So again, understanding who they are, what they do, what they like, what they don't like, where they hang out online, what websites do they visit, where do they shop online, what do they buy, what do they do not buy, what kind of political beliefs they might have. Understanding that will really help you to figure out where are they hanging out right now. And my encouragement is go be wherever they are hanging out. But here's the thing, guys. If you are a brand new online business owner, or you are a solopreneur, or you have a very small team, I would highly encourage you to focus on one marketing channel first, then moving on to the next one once you have basically mastered the first marketing channel. Because one of the biggest problems that I see a lot of online business owners make with their marketing is that they get so gung-ho about reaching, getting a lot of traffic coming in. So they spread themselves thin, right? They are on YouTube, they have a podcast, they are running Facebook ads, they are doing, Instagram and Pinterest. Now the problem is if you are new to running an online business, or you have a very small team, or if it's just you, right? You don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of experience, right? And so you're spread out super thin. Instead, I highly encourage you to, if you're going to do Facebook ads, to just focus on Facebook ads first. Get really, really good at running Facebook ads, get really, really good at increasing your conversion rate, get really good at lowering the cost per lead before you jump into, say, a YouTube video, for example, right? You don't want to jump so quickly into that. So I'll give you an example. I have a podcast called Hack Your Online Business Podcast that you can go listen to on iTunes or Spotify. Okay, go find it at hackyouronlinebusiness.com. You can tune into the podcast. Now, the point is, I started the podcast way before I started my YouTube channel, right? I focused a lot on my podcast. Every single week, I've got episodes coming out. I'm consistently creating content for my podcast. Now that I've mastered the podcast, now that I have a traffic coming from my podcast, I have branched into YouTube, right? This is the YouTube channel that I have, right? So I really focused on my podcast first, then I focus on my YouTube. I have not even touched any ads yet, right? So once I'm done mastering my YouTube channel, next thing I'll move on is something else, right? Maybe Pinterest, maybe Facebook ads, maybe Google ads, whatever that might be. But I'm focused on one channel or 2 channels before I even go on to my 3rd or my 4th or my 5th. And here's the thing, guys. One of the things I highly recommend that you do is to go figure out where your competitors are spending money on, okay? If you see a competitor that's doing really well right now, spending money on a particular website or spending money on Facebook ads targeting a certain audience, chances are they're doing really well with whatever ads they're running or whatever, placements or sponsorships that they're having right now, because no one is going to continuously, spend money on a website or spend money on a type of ad if it's not doing well. So I always encourage online business owners go check out what their competitors are doing, not to copy the ad, not to copy exactly what they're doing, but to find some potential websites or potential ads that they could possibly run to get more traffic coming in. So one of the clients that I work with, she uses Instagram to get most of her clients. And every time that she is launching something or she realizes that, she needs to get more sales, what she does is that she pours more fuel into her Instagram marketing. So that could mean posting more on Instagram. That could mean doing Instagram stories or new IGTV, or going live on Instagram. Basically, she ramps up her Instagram marketing. Now what happens is that every time she does that, she gets more traffic coming into her website, right? Because she has mastered Instagram. That is her main channel for getting traffic. Every time she needs more traffic, she just pours that fuel into that fire, and suddenly she gets more traffic. And rinse and repeat, right? Rinse and repeat. So the thing here, guys, is that you got to remember, pick one traffic, master it, get really good at it, right? It doesn't matter if it's ads or organic traffic or content marketing, whatever that might be, guys, master it, get really good at it before you move on to the next channel. So now let's talk about how do we move the cold traffic to warm to hot, right? That is the goal, and that is the key to getting more sales. Because if you get a lot of cold traffic, but you're not able to move them to the warm traffic, then there's no point. Right? There's no point, because they're not going to buy from you. So the key here really is to know how to move them from cold to warm to hot. Now, one of the most important marketing tip that I can give to you if you want to move cold to warm to hot is to focus on creating consistent, valuable content for your audience, right? Consistently creating valuable content that nurtures the cold audience and getting them to know, like, and trust you. I always talk about this, right? So content is great, and it comes in different forms. It could be consistently creating podcast episodes. It could be consistently creating YouTube videos, consistently sending out emails, consistently posting on Instagram, right? Consistently doing something and sharing who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And I found that the key to moving the cold traffic to warm to hot, the key is just being yourself, and being honest, being sincere, being of service, right? You want to come from a place of service. Whatever you do, right? This video comes from a place of service. I am trying to help more online business owners get better with their online businesses so that we can all benefit and we can all do well, right? This comes from a place of service. So ask yourself, what can you do to come from a place of service? What value can you give to your target audience so that they really get to know, like, and trust you more, right? And with each content, with each week's worth of content, right? The more they consume your content, the more they get to know who you are, the more they get to see who you are, the more they start to know you, the more they start to trust in you, and the chance of them buying gets higher and higher. And this is kind of similar to what Gary Vee talked about, with the jab, 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 right hook, right, in his book, right? So jab is giving content, giving valuable content. When you jab, you're just like content, right? You don't go like, buy my stuff, right? You don't go on the first date and say, marry me, right? Same thing when someone sees your Facebook ad for the first time, you're not going to say, all right, buy my stuff. No, what you're going to say is, here's some freebie. Here's some content, now buy my stuff, right? Jab, 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 right hook. So you gotta remember this concept. You gotta come from a place of value. It's always about being of service, right? To become the best online entrepreneur, you gotta come from a place of service. You gotta come from a place of, how can I help my customers? How can I help my audience? Because when you come from there, you get to move them down the ladder so much faster. Now, another way that you can move a cold audience to a warm audience, to a hot audience, is to start with different types of offers, right? So with a cold audience, because they don't know who I am, I might want to start with a smaller lead magnet, like a PDF, right? A PDF is easy to consume, right? An infographic, for example, those are easy to consume. A blog post, right? Once they've consumed my PDF, or once they've consumed my infographic, for example, now they're, warm traffic. They know who I am. They've consumed some of my stuff. Now, with the warm traffic, they start, you can start to give them something a little bit more to consume. So with a warm traffic, it could be, for example, a video series, a free video series, a challenge, for example, right? So these things are easier to consume. Now, once they get to the hot traffic, now, how do you convert the hot traffic? The hot traffic are people who are going to give you the most time. These are the people who don't mind putting a little bit more effort into consuming your content. So this might be an hour-long webinar, because an hour-long webinar is not easy to get people, getting people to stay for an entire hour for a webinar or a masterclass is not easy at all. So with the hot traffic, it's much easier to get them to stay around, hang around, consume that content. So Start off with something small like a PDF or, a simple quiz, for example. Then you move on to something a little bit more time consuming, more energy on their end. So maybe like a 3-part mini video series or a 5-day challenge, for example. Then you go into the hard, for example, a final webinar or watching a 1-hour long live show. Okay, so guys, I hope you found this video useful in helping you to get more traffic to your website, your landing pages, to your products and services. Learning how to get traffic consistently is vital to running a successful online business. Now, let me know in the comments below, how are you converting your cold traffic to warm traffic to hot traffic? And if you like today's video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to get notified the next time I upload my next video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Now, in the meantime, while you wait for my next week's video, don't forget to go check out these 2 videos to learn more about marketing and online business. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.